describe her as this like a very high energy. She's the life of the party. You know, she walks in and it's just all like, "Hello, everybody, what's up?" It's just like kind of like you, Jen Cohn, walking in.
Oh.
And so I guess because I know that Junkrat loves to explode stuff, but I hadn't connected those things because for me it was like a personality that was different to him. I'm not thinking about the skills and what they do and their powers, like in our heroes' powers in Overwatch. So I was just like, oh, she's kind of like Lucio. She's cool. She's suave.
That's what she sounded like to my ear just now. That sounded very Lucio. Okay.
I definitely channeled Lucio in the audition. And one thing that was awesome is as soon as I got in to record with the writer and voice director of Riot, who I've shouted out on Twitter, please check it out. They're so beautiful. They were like, Carol, we want to talk to you, get to know you. We want to really merge Raze and you, and they said as soon as we heard your first line in the audition, we just knew it was you. And I'm like, oh my God. And I went with my gut there. I really like, I've stopped worrying about like, what do they want? What should I do to make them like me? It's like, no, this is what I think she is. So like the first like line was like, woo, we're going to do this. And I think that probably scared them, you know, like, because it was just so.
Scared them into falling in love, scare them into like casting boners. I mean, this was, yeah.
But you know what's really beautiful, and I haven't really talked about this yet, we had a long session the first day, and then we cut it early a little bit. They were like, dude, we have so much material. We're really happy. You know, we're going to book you for next week. And I'm like, awesome. So then the next week I came in and they sat me down and they go, so we need to talk. Dude, my blood just.
I know. I'd be nauseous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the director's like, Zach, would you like to go first? He goes, no, Dave, you take it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting fired.
You're like, already, this is too soon. This is right.
And the David starts. So last session, you started off and like you were killing the lines and everything was just sounding beautiful. And then things started sounding stale. And I was like, wait, what? But I thought we were on good terms. They were like, and it's because we realized the writing was shit.
Oh.
Yeah. And
you were so fucking good that they said, we've got to go rewrite everything.
Zach comes in and he goes, I was realizing like you could have been reading an encyclopedia and you were making it sound awesome. But like, we just needed to up the writing to make Raze shine the way we want her to. And I was like, oh my God. And so Zach is like, bags under his eyes. He's like, Carol, I stayed up till 5 a.m. last night finishing these lines. And I'm like, what, dude? Are you crazy? They go, no, like you showed us that like Raze can be all this crazy stuff and we want the writing to reflect it. So, because the jokes weren't landing. Raze is supposed to be funny and fun and like, so then we went in and then Dave goes, and Carol, I feel like you're just this person that needs to let loose and have fun. And I want you to know that this is a safe space, that you can say whatever you want, do all the improv you want. And if it doesn't work, we cut it. But don't be afraid to just do what you need to. And I'm like, okay. And like, sometimes when you improv, it's not great. So it's like, if you do something stupid, you don't want to be judged for it. But this time, dude, it was so awesome to go. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I like it. And then they're like, that was amazing. Keep it. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm going off on this because it's like
no, I'm loving it. No, I mean, how often do you ever get a role like this that they're custom tailoring to you from literally where word go?
And I remember
like from the beginning, they're doing this.
They were like, we want you to call this guy a jerk. What would you say in Portuguese? And I had asked Danny, Maisie Groby, however I say that, before she knew I was on Riot, because I couldn't tell anybody. I said, hey, if I were a Baiana from Brazil, what would I say? And so she, you know, there were some terms for like calling somebody a jerk, like, and so I threw that out, but it wasn't working. And so then I said, they were like, well, what does that translate to in English? And I'm like, it's just kind of like, oh, you're so dumb. And they're like, oh my God, just call the guy dumb. And we're like, okay. So it was like this back and forth playing with languages and accents that was really, really fun. And I also understand on the Brazilian and Latino side, like we love to kind of connect on another level with people, even if they're like our upper, like our boss or whatever. And so some of the characters I Raze should have respect for, but she's still going to call them by the diminutive, which in Portuguese is Inho. Like I would say Jencita in Spanish, or Genzinha in Portuguese. And so they were like, do it. Like Raze has the confidence in her to call people by
that she would call them little. I love that. Yeah.
That's so I threw in the it's just me, my squadzinho. So it used to be just
your little squad. Yeah.
My little squad.
Little squadzinho.
Ton of dynamite. Yeah. So so it was just, and then I had such a gorgeous moment with the writer, because at the end of so we took a break. David goes, I want you to know that Zach was just shed some tears. And I'm like, why? He goes, man, he's just loving what you're doing. And Zach was in the bathroom. So I was like, so I knew this info. And then when at the end of the session, Zach says to me, Carol, I cried for like 10 minutes straight, because as I'm hearing Raze talk to her team members, little gay closeted Zach of 12 years old, gamer boy, 12 years old, all of a sudden felt like he found a character that was building community and telling him it's okay for him to be himself. And I wish I had had a character like Raze embrace me when I was 12 and not knowing what to do. Should I come out of the closet or not? And or like just feeling the sense of community. And I had already cried a little because they wanted
Carol, look at me. You're killing me. Okay, go on.
I was fucked. I was losing it because he said Raze is all heart. Like, even though she's a badass, she's going to carry her team no matter what. And I feel like that as a person, like I am going to carry my friends no matter fucking what. You know what I mean? The people I love. And so, earlier they had said, you know, women in video games are just badasses who are like, whatever, don't mess with me because I'm going to kill you. But like, Raze is more than that. She's not just this woman who's just going to throw grenades and like pretend to be a man. She's actually like, she's like a tomboy, but she's feminine and she's you know, and she's funny and I was like, dude, that's what I've been struggling my whole life. Like, I love dressing like a dude sometimes, and I love wearing lipstick, and sometimes I swear like a sailor, but it doesn't mean I'm not ladylike. And so all of a sudden, like I connected to Raze on this whole other level that I was like, guys, creating her together. So that was my crazy experience with Raze. And that's where I understood for the first time, like, hey guys, I wasn't born and raised in Brazil, but sometimes there's something about a character that speaks to you more than a Brazilian with a perfect accent is going to necessarily connect to. And I get it. I get the Brazilians that are going, why the hell is this Colombian chick doing this? And I go, it's not about that. It's about the personality and the heart.
It's big. It's deeper. It's bigger.
And I think that Sombra, I have her dark sense of humor, you know, but she's a badass in a way that, like, you know, doesn't exist in me. And I think that Raze is more me in a personality sense, you know? And that's when I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to do this. And if I don't book it, whatever, but I'm doing what's most authentic to me right now. In my Brazilianness, you know, because I'm obsessed with Brazil and the food and the culture and the music and the people and the capoeira and the samba and everything. So
walk into the room, I can't help stop and stare. Show me what you got. I hope you came prepared right there. Cause when you're messing with someone like me, get in check. Cause there's no way that I'm gonna leave till I get that thing, that ice that makes me cool like crazy. That vibe is that's lit. No if, no buts, no maybes. It's what I want.